You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Coming up, why Sarasota City Commissioners hope a $4 million Band-Aid project will help solve the eroding shoreline at Lido Beach.
Plus, a Sarasota man pleads guilty after being caught with more than 3 tons of explosives. We'll tell you what all they found at his home.
And Florence is out of the Carolinas, but we'll tell you how local groups are coming together to help those affected by the storm. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, folks. September 18th, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. And folks, he is back. John Halsey, welcome back from vacation, sir.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful time off, but I missed y'all. Missed y'all.
Come on.
Yeah,
no, seriously, I did.
Too.
No, really, I did.
It's Ray and Stephanie.
Thanks. A couple of showers out in Gulf waters, nothing over land at this hour. Looks like it's going to be a very quiet, tame commute this morning without any really weather impediment this morning. On the way home this afternoon, maybe an isolated shower, but basically we're warm and we're dry for this time of year. Satellite view shows a little bit of cloud cover out in Gulf waters and maybe a little bit of partly cloudy skies as you wake up this morning and dawn breaks. But all in all, we got a lot of sunshine in store for us today and warm afternoon temperatures climbing up to 91. It'll feel like it's 100 or better with about a 30% chance of late day showers. Complete forecast in a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the roads now. First alert traffic showing all clear so far in Manatee County. Farther south, here's the scene now in the northern half of Sarasota County. Again, so far so good. Let's see if we can get the trifecta and have 3 clear maps. Any red down there? Well, I see a couple blips actually. Nothing major though. Should be a good commute if you head out the door sometime soon. 5:01 right now.
Our top story this morning, Sarasota City Commissioners are moving forward with a $4 million project that would serve as a quick fix to the eroding shoreline at Lido Beach.
The city decided to fast-track the short-term request before the long-term project begins. They want to take 185,000 cubic yards of sand from New Pass, which is near Longboat Key, to add to the Lido Beach shoreline. The funding would come from the city budget, as well as Sarasota County and FEMA. The city plans for a long-term fix by dredging Big Pass adjacent to Siesta Key.
So the project also includes bird monitors and turtle monitors, although of course we don't have a lot of beach for a lot of nesting at this point in time. They do inspect the beach regularly to make sure, that if anything needs to be relocated or the contractor needs to be have their schedule adjusted, we have that.
Now, also at last night's City Commission meeting, they actually decided to hire a private investigator to look into claims that City Auditor and Clerk Pamela Natalini has harassed and verbally abused her employees. Now, the city voted unanimously to spend about $30,000 on the investigation. A formal complaint has also been filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or the EEOC. Commissioners have decided to keep those investigations separate. So the city attorney will investigate the discrimination claims while the private investigator will look into Natalini's treatment of employees.
We want the community to know that certainly we take the allegations of our employees seriously, and it's something that we can't ignore. And if there's nothing there, that's great. And if there is, then we want to know what corrective action we can take.
Now, that EEOC complaint is sealed, so it's not yet clear if this is a current or a prior employee of Natalini that's making these allegations, or what exactly the allegations may be.
The city of Sarasota has also changed an ordinance to try and bring more affordable housing to the area. City commissioners will allow developers to reapply for site plan approval without paying additional fees. This comes after a developer known for building affordable housing around the state called it quits on a project back in July after saying Sarasota was too hard to work with. Harvey Vengroff says he's had no trouble with other cities, just Sarasota. He wants to build apartments on Fruitville Road for lower income workers. Vengroff says there's a demand among the service industry for affordable housing.
There's just no apartments available for people. I don't have any. I've got 2,000 apartments and I don't have any empties. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, business shouldn't be that good. State of Washington, we're doing things in
the ordinance change is expected to save Vengroff nearly $30,000 and also bring other developers back to the table in the city of Sarasota.
Well, a Sarasota man is pleading guilty to a massive amount of explosives seized at his home earlier this year. Mark Jason Levine is now facing a maximum of 20 years in federal prison after admitted to 2 counts of possession of explosives by a convicted felon. Now, his many prior drug convictions mean he wasn't allowed to own or sell any explosive materials. But in the past 2 years, the ATF and the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office confiscated various explosives from a shed behind his home, more than 3 tons in all. Now, Levine was selling fuses online through a website that was dedicated to explosive sales. He was also keeping a storage unit in the Sarasota area full of explosives at a facility where law enforcement seized more than 7,000 more pounds and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. His sentencing is scheduled for December the 12th. And lunch was cut short for a tractor driver after his machine caught fire in Venice on Monday. Fire crews responded to a tractor fire after the man operating the equipment noticed some flames. It happened at Jacaranda Boulevard and Border Road. The Venice Fire Department says crews extinguished the flames, but the tractor itself was a total loss, estimated to cost about $35,000. Thankfully, though, no one was injured in that fire. And new details on a mandate that will soon be enforced in all Florida schools by the end of this month, requiring "In God We Trust" signs to be placed on all public campuses. And
now the date is getting closer for schools to display those signs. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us with details of that timetable. Marla?
Guys, in just little over a week, all Sarasota County schools will have those "In God We Trust" signs up. Right now, there are temporary printed signs in some Sarasota County schools to comply with the mandate. Those signs sit in places like school lobbies and also the front offices. We spoke to the school district spokesperson yesterday. She tells us more permanent signs will officially go up by the end of this month. In Manatee County, the school district went a little different in their route. Officials hung the state's seal in schools, which already has the words "In God We Trust." We spoke to a few students at Booker High School in Sarasota County who could not go on camera, many of them unaware of the mandate and the signs, but they say they fully support the mandate and what the state is trying to do. We spoke to parents also at Booker High School, many of them also unaware. The state is not covering the cost of the signs, and school districts are responsible for supplying and displaying the signs that will go up by the end of next week. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Marla. The number of people killed by Hurricane Florence has now risen to 32 victims. Roads are now rivers as floodwaters rise. Look at some aerial footage off Interstate 40 through Lumberton, North Carolina. Now, landslides are becoming a hazard to drivers on the road as well. We've got some aerial footage of Highway 145 as well. Not underwater anymore, but parts of it are washed away. Look at that car in the ditch. And look at the semi-truck now in the next video, also washed away in South Carolina. You can see part of it stuck in a ditch that used to be a road.
Well, back here on the Suncoast, volunteers say they know firsthand just how hurricanes can impact a community and are now trying to pay it forward to help the victims of Hurricane Florence. The local branch of the American Patriots 3% group plans to begin their trip to the Carolinas next week to deliver canned goods, cleaning supplies, and toiletries. Local volunteers will start the 700-mile drive to North Carolina next Monday to drop off supplies to areas in need. Now, if you guys would like to help, there are several.
These are our neighbors, they're Americans, they're our friends, they're our family.
As Floridians, I think we really understand what they're going through.
Now, if you'd like to help, there are actually several drop-off locations throughout the Suncoast. You can find them. You can drop off donations at the Crunch Fitness on Bee Ridge in Sarasota, the Buccaneer Pawn Shop in Bradenton, and Lou's Venue and Banquet Hall in Arcadia.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you about popular mobile payment apps and which ones are the safest to use.
And later in the hour, we'll tell you why President Trump is now declassifying documents related to the early days of the FBI's Russia investigation. But first,
it is 5:08 right now on this Tuesday morning. John Scalzi has details of today's forecast.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for us today, Ray. I think we'll be not checking any of the boxes for drive time forecast, although it is possible we could see an isolated shower this afternoon. But in general, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. Late in the day, late in the evening, I think we may see a few scattered showers around, but the rain chance only at about 30%. All airport hubs running on time, according to the FAA, at least the ones that serve Sarasota International. We'll be right back.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways. protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids. Build great futures.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're in for a couple of warm days. I don't think there's any question about that. Rainfall chances will be slightly less than normal as they were this weekend, and consequently, I think we'll see our daytime high temperatures feel a little warmer as well. Even though we have plenty of moisture around, just don't have that kicker in the atmosphere. 78 degrees the air temperature. We have a east-southeast wind light. It's going to be kind of light and variable actually today. Coming in out of the southeast a little later on this afternoon, it'll shift around to the west with a sea breeze forming. We have a dew point value still very warm at 76 degrees, so the feels like temperature today is going to again be up close to that century mark. As we head through the morning and into the afternoon, we'll watch clouds build and give us about a 30% chance of an inland shower starting at around 3-4 o'clock. And then those showers will gradually drift toward the coast and die out as we saw yesterday, probably later in the day. The last few remaining showers now part of the easterly wind flow continuing to press further away from coast. No issues for us for the morning commute. Everything looks quiet, looks dry, everything looks good. That general easterly wind caused by the ridge of high pressure building into the north of us. We have a little frontal boundary actually along the coastline as well. And what's left of Florence just about to exit the United States. Florence is pretty much a dead storm right now. The easterly wind flow for us will be light and certainly not strong enough to keep the sea breeze from penetrating a good distance inland. That's why our rain chances will probably be highest in inland areas, but a few of those showers will drift back to the coast as we head into the afternoon. So a light southeast wind, warm afternoons with feels like temperatures up near 100, and then some late day scattered showers around. We'll watch this pattern kind of continue, I think, for the next several days. Futurecast pretty much spells it out. As we progress through time, we'll watch a few scattered showers building in inland areas east of the interstate, and then those showers kind of drift into the coastline as they die out. There could be an isolated, stronger storm around, but severe weather is not anticipated today. The Futurecast will continue to look pretty much the same as that for the next several days. Tropics are good right now. Thankfully, we've got Joyce moving away. That's going to be out of the picture a little bit later today. We have what's left of Isaac. Again, no chance of regeneration here as it continues to move toward the Yucatan. And then Florence, kind of a dying storm now moving out into the open waters of the Atlantic. There's really no issues in the tropics for the next, looks like, 5 days. So keep our fingers crossed there. Southeast wind turns west at about 10 knots, becomes more northerly tonight before it shifts back to the east overnight and through tomorrow morning. That'll bring 2-foot seas, light chop. Should be a pretty nice day out on the waters, with, of course, the exception of the red tide issues. Forecast over the next several days looks like this. About a 30% chance of showers today and a little bit less tomorrow as high pressure continues to build, but you know, splitting hairs maybe. 91 rather, the daytime high, with temperature at night in the 70s. For the next several nights, it'll be pretty much the same thing, perhaps a little bit better rain chance as we head into the weekend. And the first day of fall comes Sunday, though it'll feel anything like that, with temperatures right straight through the remainder of the work week and into the weekend in the lower 90s. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic one more time. Let's see if we can get Ray's trifecta again going in Manatee County. Not too much going on, pretty quiet out there on the road so far. In the top half of Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad. Just a little bit of delay on Fruitville as you're heading toward 301 right in there, but other than that, not too bad. And then again, 75 and 41 looking pretty good out there so far. It is 5:16. That is your first alert traffic. Well, in consumer news, whether it's paying a family member your part of the phone bill or splitting the bill on Taco Tuesday, chances are you're one of more than 75 million people that use mobile payment apps like Venmo and the Cash App.
But which ones are the best and safest to use? Kim Hutcherson has a closer look.
Your smartphone is replacing your wallet. Mobile payment apps like Venmo, Zelle, and the Cash App are quickly replacing cash when it comes to paying friends and family. All three allow you to link up your bank account, type in a dollar amount, and send the money fast. The biggest difference is that Venmo is the only one that lets you get social. You can post about your transactions and interact with others. Zelle is setting itself apart by going after older users. The service is already built into many mobile banking apps like Wells Fargo and Bank of America. Zelle also puts that cash into your recipient's bank account instantly. On the Venmo app, instant payments cost 25 cents, and you must have a Visa or MasterCard. Instant deposits on the Cash App will cost you 1.5% of the total amount you're trying to send. Consumer Reports recently rated all three apps secure to use. They recommend you follow these 3 tips for the best experience and to reduce your risk. Number 1, opt in to extra security. Take those extra seconds and set up protections like a PIN and features that require a special code to confirm payments. Number 2, keep your app up to date. If you have the old version, you're missing the latest security protections. And number 3, it may sound obvious, but only send money to people you know. For Consumer Watch, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Well, Chicago's first Amazon Go store is now open. The automated, no cashier store is the first to open outside of the company's headquarters in Seattle. Now, here's how it works. You simply scan your Amazon Go app for entry. You grab all the items that you want, and then you walk out. Now, all your purchases are billed to whichever credit card you have on file, and you get an instant receipt when you leave. Kate McHugh was one of the store's very first shoppers.
Kind of like weird. I kind of hesitated touching things because you can apparently like pick something up, but if you put it back, they don't charge you. So I just picked what I wanted and walked out, which felt like I was stealing, but I wasn't.
I'd walk out of there with a $9,000 bill because I'd just be touching everything.
It's all free.
Yay, it's free. The store offers all kinds of fresh food options. You can get like quick snacks, and you can get all kinds of meal kits. No word yet on when Amazon could open one of the stores near the Suncoast. So I like that, but I'm a little, I would have the same concern she does. I'd be like, did I touch that? Do I touch
I have
that?
a hard enough time with the automated cashiers at Walmart.
I know, that's true, right? We got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Amazon is doubling down on its Alexa-powered devices. We'll have more news about the company. We're going to tell you about their plans to release new gadgets by the end of the year, including a microwave.
And next half hour, Supreme Court showdown. We'll tell you when a woman accusing nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her is expected to testify before the Senate committee. But first, at 5:19, you're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing Dermasuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. Dermasuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as Dermasuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the Dermasuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your Dermasuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Alberto Palaika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Well, the governor of North Carolina says they are still in a crisis mode as floodwaters continue to rise. It's a live shot of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
That's right. Looking at Flood Street here, it's just one of the many that residents are still dealing with this morning and definitely throughout the rest of the week. Forecasters say the flooding there could continue for still quite some time out there.
We update daily content to our respective websites on Facebook. You've got one, John's got one. I think we've got a graphic right there to show you. So stop by, like the page, say hello. We'll always be writing back to you and get some behind-the-scenes shots of what Stephanie does during the commercial breaks.
That's right. Or when we also have bloopers on my Facebook ABC7 page as well. So you'll have some fun there as well.
Yes.
All right, well, drum roll, please. So who is it that's going to be the first space tourist to take a trip around the moon? Hint.
No.
Not Ray, or John, or me.
Fly me to the moon.
Not us.
The answer in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, SpaceX is taking its first paying tourist on a trip around the moon.
The first space tourist for Elon Musk's company is a Japanese billionaire. He's the founder of Japan's largest online retailer. The 2023 mission will be the first lunar trip since 1972, when NASA launched the first Apollo spacecraft. And Instagram has launched new e-commerce tools designed to make it easier for users to buy the things they want.
The tools can be found via Instagram Stories and the Explore page. Both will include information about brands that users follow. And Amazon is reportedly expanding Alexa's reach.
The company is said to be planning to release at least 8 new voice-controlled devices before the end of the year. They include an Alexa-powered microwave oven. Amazon's expected to reveal some of the new devices before the end of the month.
And it'll be out hopefully by Christmas. Well, those are your Tech Bites.
Have a good one.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Xeljanz.
Your mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz XR is right for you. Xeljanz XR is a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. It can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection, tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Don't let another morning go by without talking to your rheumatologist about Xeljanz XR.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords. All on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Coming up, showdown on Capitol Hill. The woman accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault will now testify before the Senate. We'll tell you when.
Plus, the accident where 2 Lakewood Ranch High School students died on State Road 64 is renewing neighbors' requests for a traffic light at that intersection.
And we'll take a closer look at how a new website lets you see traffic in real time before you head out the door. We have those stories plus your Tuesday forecast this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
Can I tell you I spent 15 minutes watching that website last weekend?
Is there any point that we're going to be surprised by this?
You can click on cameras all over and see what's going on.
I feel like Ray has developed a new obsession.
Yeah, maybe. Let's get the forecast. Now, here's John Scalzi.
I can see you doing that.
Right? See? Traffic master
totally,
over here.
Totally. Like, you know, acting out 24 or something. You know, I guess. Totally see that. We have some showers out in Gulf waters right now. Those are not going to be affecting us on land. We are looking at a dry morning commute. On the way home, however, maybe a few scattered showers kind of drifting back closer to the coastline are possible. Rain chance at about 30% later on. Mix of sun and clouds to start the day with more sun than anything else. It'll be a mostly sunny day. That'll drive our temperature up to, again, the low 90s with a feels like of about 100. 30% rain chance starts at 3 p.m. in inland areas and then builds back toward the coast later in the day. Back to you.
Also building right now, traffic on 301 just north of State Road 70 in both directions. Also a little blip there at the top of your screen there as you drive past the Ellington Outlet Mall. Some congestion on 301 southbound. Also Fruitville Road, that is westbound as you get up to Tuttle. Some problems there. And then South County, not too much to report at 5:30 right now on your Tuesday morning. New developments on the woman accusing sexual misconduct against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh 35 years ago. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has details on just when we're going to hear what she says happened.
The stage is set on Capitol Hill with both Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and his accuser ready to testify.
I insisted that we have an open hearing. I would have voted no this week, absent her being able to tell her story.
Senator Jeff Flake, a key Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, is adamant Kavanaugh's accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, must be heard. Dr. Ford, a psychology professor in California, seen here in this yearbook photo from the period when she claims she was assaulted, first told her story to Senator Dianne Feinstein and the Washington Post, alleging Kavanaugh pinned her to a bed and groped her, claiming he was trying to attack me and remove my clothing, adding I thought he might inadvertently kill me, but she says she managed to get away. The alleged incident happened when they were both in high school some 35 years ago. In response, Kavanaugh says this is a completely false allegation. I have never done anything like what the accuser describes to her or to anyone.
It is an insult to the women of America to rush this through.
Obviously, if Judge Kavanaugh has lied about what happened, that would be disqualifying.
President Trump, while defending his nominee, also uncharacteristically called for patience.
I want the American people to be happy. And I think to do that, you have to go through this. If it takes a little delay, it'll take a little delay.
The hearing is set for next Monday morning, and we're told the two will be testifying separately, but before this same panel. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
President Trump is declassifying a slew of documents related to the early days of the FBI's Russia investigation. The documents include portions of a secret surveillance warrant, as well as text messages from former FBI Director James Comey. Now, that move comes in response to calls from the president's allies in Congress who say they believe that the Russia investigation was biased against Trump within the ranks of the FBI and the Justice Department. And President Trump escalating America's trade war with China. Now, the U.S. will impose a 10% tariff later on this month on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods, increasing it to 25% by the end of the year. Now, those additional tariffs are on top of penalties that were already enacted earlier this year on about $50 billion worth of Chinese goods. Now, together it means roughly half of all the products that China sells to the U.S. each year will now be hit by those tariffs.
Well, bizarre story here. The romance novelist who wrote a book about a wife who kills her husband is now, you guessed it, pleading not guilty to killing her husband. Nancy Crampton Brophy made her plea in Portland yesterday at the arraignment. Police say the 68-year-old shot her husband Daniel at the Oregon Culinary Institute, where he was a chef and educator. Now, Crampton Brophy once wrote an essay titled "How to Murder Your Husband." She is scheduled to be back in court on October 26th.
Well, now to Orlando, where the city is standing by its police chief's actions during the Pulse nightclub shooting. City officials are asking a federal judge to dismiss a civil rights lawsuit that accuses the chief there, Adam Gruller, of failing to intervene to stop the 2016 massacre. Authorities say that Gruller fired at the gunman from outside Pulse, but didn't pursue him inside. Now, that lawsuit claims that it was his job to go inside and get the shooter, even though it would have risked his own life. A motion filed yesterday by Gruller's lawyers say his reaction does not constitute a violation of the victim's rights to due process.
Opponents to charter schools in Florida are saying there isn't enough government oversight. Watchdog group Integrity Florida says new charter schools are taking money away from traditional public schools. Integrity Florida Research Director Ben Wilcox says that charter schools were initially set up to create innovation that could be shared with traditional schools. The new report says around 20 charter schools close every year in Florida due to low enrollment or fiscal mismanagement.
These schools that should be private schools are accessing public funds, and you know they are giving parents and students more choices, but that choice comes at a cost. Research director.
Now, supporters say charter schools offer families a good educational alternative.
Well, neighbors and witnesses to a fatal crash on State Road 64 Saturday night are outraged and upset, and now they're demanding safety improvements to that intersection they say was deadly long before those two teens lost their lives. 17-year-old Chase Coiner and 15-year-old Matthew Powers were killed after a Florida Highway Patrol says Coiner turned onto Pope Road directly into the path of an oncoming truck. Now, both people in that truck were thrown out. A 12-year-old girl remains in critical condition as of this morning. Witnesses say there was no way for Chase to have seen the oncoming traffic as he tried to turn left onto the road.
Turning lane, even if you're the first car, if there's cars in the other turning lane headed north, you cannot see oncoming traffic.
Now, for their part, FDOT says it's installed a white median to help with traffic flow there, and that in the year before it was installed, there were 19 crashes, and in the 6 months that it's been in place, there's only been 5 crashes. They also plan to build a roundabout there within the next few years. And Florida Highway Patrol are also investigating what led to another fatal crash in Manatee County last night. Sean Napoleon from Tampa was killed after Edwin Rios lost control of his car and started driving in the wrong direction. Now, Rios didn't suffer any injuries in that accident.
In case Stephanie's traffic reporting isn't enough for you, you now have access to seeing 200 cameras around the Suncoast before you head out the door. The government site shows live video of main roads and intersections all the way from Parrish down to Northport. Along with watching in real time, the site also tweets about road conditions and gives accident updates.
If you want to see perhaps maybe an incident has changed, for example, there was an accident this morning on the Skyway, so there was real-time information about when that was cleared up and it was reopened.
Manatee County officials say the goal of the project is to help people avoid traffic issues they usually face on a day-to-day basis by knowing which hours are the best to travel along the Suncoast roads. Now, a link to their website can be found on our website at mysuncoast.com.
Also new this morning, a group of Manatee County students are back home today after taking 3rd place in a world STEM competition in Singapore. The team, Perspective Racing, was led by a technology education teacher at Palmetto High School, featured students from Braden River, Palmetto, and Southeast high schools. Now, the district has had more top finishes in the state, national, and world level than any other district in the country. So, huge congratulations again to the entire Perspective Racing team.
3rd place, I believe there was dozens of teams.
This was a worldwide competition.
Yeah.
This is huge, especially in STEM. This is a big area right now that they're trying to get focused on.
Very impressive. Way to go, kids in Manatee County. Still ahead of Good Morning Suncoast, an update on how schools are adding in God We Trust signs in sites across Suncoast campuses.
And we're going to take a look at some of the biggest moments from last night's 70th Annual Emmy Awards, including a live proposal right there on the air. But first,
did you watch last night?
I did, yes, as much as I could before I went night-night.
Yeah, it's your favorite show of the year,
Yes,
I think.
heck yeah. It's like my Hollywood, my award show.
5:39 right now. The Tuesday forecast from Professor John Scalzi.
Oh, thank you very much. We're looking at temperatures that are generally speaking about where they should be, a little bit warmer maybe this time of year. 91 our daytime high, a few clouds, around 30% chance of an afternoon shower. 10 out of 10 chance of an outside recess today. Don't see any issues whatsoever. Partly sunny and lots of warm temperatures across the region. Forecast in a second.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Pretty nice start to the day, but warm. We're at 78 degrees already and a dew point value pretty close to it at 76. So that gives us 93% relative humidity. East-southeast wind blows rather lightly, coming in at about 3 right now. At times it's calm, at times it's somewhat variable. We'll look for that general southeasterly flow to continue, but a sea breeze will build in the afternoon, switching our winds around to the west and helping us trigger off that shower or two that we'll see in the afternoon. Building inland first, drifting back to the coast, rain chance at about 30% later today. Titan radar is quiet, and we have a few showers out in Gulf waters, and as dawn breaks, you'll see those showers out there. Really not much in the way of a chance of those showers making it back to coast, but you might see a pop or two of lightning off in the distance. Otherwise, it's quiet across the entire Suncoast, and with that wind just pushing those showers continually out into Gulf waters, that's the way it's going to stay through the morning. It won't be until the afternoon until we start to see the sea breeze build, colliding with this westerly wind or southeasterly wind, that we have our chance of seeing showers today. Because of high pressure building in, our rain chance is relatively low, coming in at about 30%. So without the showers to cool us off, we get the heat, and that's what will happen again today. Light southeast wind, warm afternoon conditions, and then late scattered showers starting at around 3 o'clock, as I mentioned, and then building back to the coast as the showers die out. Maybe a thunderstorm or two, but no severe weather anticipated. Futurecast shows the timing of the showers pretty accurately, I think, starting at around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon in inland areas east of the interstate. Maybe Lakewood Ranch gets a shower or two, maybe Foxfire does, but then those showers kind of drift back toward the coast and gives a better chance of everyone to get rainfall along the coast. But total coverage, again, today, not going to be all that great. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch those showers building inland, but coastal regions stay pretty quiet with the westerly wind developing. It'll be a nice day for boating. Southeast wind turns to the west at about 10 knots for you today, turning to the north and then back to the east during the overnight as winds settle down just a little bit toward dawn. 2-foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters. Water temperature a toasty 87 degrees out there. So we're looking at about a 30% chance of showers today, maybe slightly less tomorrow. And over the next several days, I think this trend will continue on, maybe a little bit better rain chances as we head into the weekend. And that, of course, would be the first day of fall coming your way on Sunday, although it'll feel anything but fall-like around here with temperatures that remain in the low 90s. Back to you.
John, let's take a look outside and check on your first alert traffic out there. So far in Manatee County, those roads are a little bit slow. A couple slowdowns right there in the intersection of 301 and State Road 70, as well as southbound 41. And then in the top half of Sarasota County, Fruitville Road, a couple slowdowns right there as you're passing by Cardinal Mooney High School, headed toward 301. And then if I know I'm getting all fancy over here with my traffic, and then if you're headed to 75 or 41 south, those roads are looking pretty clear out there. 5:45 is time. That is your first alert traffic. Well, new details on a mandate that will soon be enforced in all Florida schools by the end of the month, requiring "In God We Trust" signs to be placed on all college campuses, or public campuses, excuse me.
And now that date is getting closer for schools to display those signs. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us with the latest on this timetable. Marla?
Well, guys, in just a little over a week, all Sarasota County schools will have those "In God We Trust" signs up. Right now, there are temporary printed signs in some Sarasota County schools to comply with the mandate. Those signs sit in places like school lobbies and front offices. We spoke to the school district's spokesperson yesterday. She tells us more permanent signs will officially go up by the end of this month in Manatee County. The school district went a different route. Officials hung the state seal in schools which already have the words "In God We Trust." We spoke to a few students at Booker High School in Sarasota County who could not go on camera, many of them unaware of the mandate and the signs, but they say they fully support the mandate and what the state is trying to do. We also spoke to parents at Booker High School, many of them also unaware. The state is not covering the cost of the signs, and the school districts are responsible for supplying and displaying the signs that will go up by the end of this month. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Marla. In Health Smart, it is no surprise that when kids head back to the classroom, sometimes they bring home more than homework, sometimes it's cooties.
Did you just write cooties?
I did, I wrote cooties.
And you said it out loud. Well, keeping sick days to a minimum can be a real challenge during the school year. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Dan Allen says that we can avoid the spread of many contagious illnesses with good hand hygiene. He also says keeping kids home from school until they are better is the best way to let them recover and to prevent the illness from spreading to their classmates. That makes sense so far.
If they have an active fever, they should stay home. If they're showing any symptoms of stomach upset, vomiting, or diarrhea, they should not be going to school. If they're not able to function properly, they're very lethargic, they're very tired, they're not going to do well at school, and they're probably still infected.
Also a good idea to give your house a thorough cleaning after everyone's feeling better using a bleach-based solution. Try washing your child's bedding and stuffed animals in hot water.
That's right.
Recall those days?
Yes, and then you do happy birthday to you. You sing it twice in your head. That's how long you're supposed to wash your hands to get them appropriately clean.
That's a long time.
It is a very long time.
Entertainment news now. The 70th annual Emmy Awards had some surprises last night.
That's right. Some big surprises, some big wins, and a big old proposal last night. David Daniel has all the juicy highlights.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
The big winner on TV's biggest night was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. The Amazon series picked up 5 Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series and Lead Comedy Actress for Rachel Brosnahan.
It's about a woman who's finding her voice anew, and it's something that's happening all over the country right now. One of the most important ways that we can find and use our voices is to vote.
HBO's Game of Thrones returned to win a pair of Emmys, including Outstanding Drama Series, while FX's American Crime Story, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, took a trio of trophies, topped by Outstanding Limited Series or TV Movie.
1 out of every 4 LGBTQ people in this country will be the victim of a hate crime. We dedicate this award to them.
One of the night's biggest ovations went to Henry Winkler, who won for supporting actor in a comedy series for HBO's Barry, the first Emmy of his long career.
I only have 37 seconds. I wrote this 43 years ago. Okay.
The 70th Emmy Awards included a standing ovation for 96-year-old TV treasure Betty White.
It's incredible that I'm still in this business, and you are still putting up with me.
But the night's most memorable moment no one saw coming, except Glenn Weiss, who won an Emmy for directing the Oscars and used his acceptance speech to tell his girlfriend, Jan Svensson,
"You wonder why I don't like to call you my girlfriend? Because I want to call you my wife." Will you marry me?
On a night of winners, what could be a sweeter win than that? In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
They couldn't play him off the stage, I guess.
Heck no.
There's a new young singer with the top album in the country. His name is Paul McCartney.
Who's that, Paul?
He played in a group called Wings. Yeah.
Wings, okay, okay.
For the first time in 36 years, McCartney at the top of the charts. The album is called Egypt Station. Will You Still Love Me When I'm 64? Apparently so. He is now 76.
Oh, I love this. All right, finally, speaking of good music, check this out. More than 5,000 years after Stonehenge was created, it's got a new temporary building, a DJ booth, that's right, DJ Paul Oakenfold. He is the first artist to ever perform at the site in the UK. Only about 50 people were actually invited to this private performance. It was all for good cause, though. He's actually donating some of the proceeds from his new album to help protect and preserve Stonehenge. Can you imagine?
No.
5,000 years old, and it's got house music. Because he was like one of the pioneers of house music.
He's going to go to the Egypt pyramids next.
Right, yes, that's what's going to happen, right?
We're going to come back with your day's top news headlines first. This is a live look at your U.S. Capitol, busy place in the next few days. The Senate Judiciary Committee is going to hear from a woman who says that the Supreme Court nominee sexually assaulted her 35 years ago, causing lots of buzz about his nomination now. That story and more news on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This fall, experience golf at a higher level, where the courses are exceptionally beautiful and incredibly challenging on Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Enjoy unlimited golf, including cart and range balls from $112 a day. Beautiful, deadly, irresistible. Is your game ready for the trail? Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com for tee times and get your game on. The trail.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Welcome back. It is 5:54, and here are some of the top stories we're following for you today.
Jury selection has once again been delayed for the man accused of throwing his 5-year-old daughter off a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway 3 years ago. John Johnchuk could face the death penalty in Pinellas County.
Plus, a local branch of the American Patriots 3% group plans to begin their 700-mile trip to the Carolinas next week to help with hurricane cleanup. They're delivering cleaning supplies, canned goods, and toiletries.
And you now have access to seeing 200 live traffic cameras all over the Suncoast. Manatee County's traffic center has now gone public with their monitors. You can find a link on our website, mysuncoast.com. One last peek at the forecast now from John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a couple of things on the boards for you to take home with you today. Warm afternoons each and every day for the rest of the week. Even though fall arrives on Sunday, we'll have some scattered showers in the afternoon. They'll build inland and drift back to the coast. And so far, tropics look pretty calm for the next 5 days or so. There's some good news for you. Back to you.
All right, sounds good. We've got another full hour of news coming up, and in more sort of entertainment news, we're going to talk about Julie Chen, who's just announced that she's going to be leaving the talk, but she'll still be keeping Big Brother. And there's been a lot of interesting controversy around this, and it all has to do with her use of her last name when she hosted The Brother and publicly supporting her husband. So
she's married to Les Moonves,
yes,
by the way.
Yeah, who just stepped down as the chairman of CBS over some sexual misconduct allegations.
The song will be "Stand By Your Man."
Yes, she is observing the Tammy Wynette song.
Oh, good for you.
I surprised him with that right there.
Wow, you're so young.
Thank you, Ray.